Elena Redhawk had always felt like she was walking a thin line between the world she was born into and the world she secretly longed for. Her tribe had raised her with strict values, deep traditions, and expectations she never chose for herself. Every decision, every moment of her life was watched and guided by elders who believed loyalty was measured by obedience. But Elena's spirit was wilder than the narrow path they carved for her. She wanted freedom, real freedom, not the kind granted by permission or duty. And she found the first taste of that freedom on the day she met Cade Mercer, the rancher who changed everything. Cade wasn't like the other settlers. There was something calm and grounded about him, something in the way he studied the land before he spoke, as if he listened more than he talked. Elena had expected fear or hostility when he first stumbled upon her, down by the riverbank, but instead he offered her a simple greeting and a respectful distance. That single moment disrupted the world she knew. They met again by chance, then by intention, until their shared glances turned into conversations, and conversations turned into something deeper, something dangerous. When the tribal council learned of her meetings with Cade, they confronted her with a decision she didn't want to make. She was to marry the war chief's son, a man of power but little kindness. The marriage was not about her. It was about strengthening alliances and controlling her future. They gave her 2 days to accept it. 2 days that felt like a storm tearing through her entire life, shaking every fear and hope she carried. Cade saw the tension in her face when she told him. He didn't try to persuade her, didn't promise her a perfect life, didn't demand she choose him. He simply reminded her of the truth she already knew, that her life belonged to her, not to a council or a tradition that treated her like a pawn. His quiet strength was the final push she needed. Before dawn on the second day, Elena climbed onto a horse and followed Cade toward his ranch, heart pounding with a mix of guilt, excitement, and fear. She didn't look back at the distant glow of her tribe's fires, though she felt them burning in her memory. By choosing Cade, she wasn't just choosing a man, she was choosing her own destiny, even if that choice carried a storm she had not yet revealed. For Elena Redhawk was running from more than an arranged marriage. She carried secrets that, once exposed, would change everything. Elena's arrival at the Mercer Ranch did not settle quietly into the land the way Cade had hoped. The moment she stepped off the horse, every pair of eyes on the property seemed to track her, curious, disapproving, cautious. Men paused in their work. Women whispered behind their hands. No one said anything openly, but Elena felt the weight of every stare. She had traded one world's expectations for another world's suspicions. Still, she refused to stand idle. At dawn the next morning, she was already helping in the stables, brushing down horses and hauling buckets with a determination that surprised everyone. Her hands blistered, her muscles burned, but she kept at it without complaint. Cade watched from a distance, proud yet worried. He knew people feared what they didn't understand, and Elena's presence, coming from a tribe already rumored to be restless, made the ranch hands uneasy. Cade's older brother, Aaron, was the first to voice what others only whispered. He confronted Cade behind the barn, demanding to know why he had brought trouble into their home. Cade's jaw tightened, but he kept his words calm, insisting Elena had chosen peace, not conflict. Aaron shook his head, unconvinced. She knows things, our land, our weak spots. If her people come, do you think they'll hesitate? Cade didn't answer, because deep down he wondered the same. Despite the tension, Elena continued helping around the ranch, learning quickly, earning small nods of respect from those who doubted her. Yet every time a horse snorted sharply or a rider passed along the ridge, a flicker of fear crossed her face. Cade noticed. One night, he found her sitting alone on the porch, staring toward the dark line of hills, separating the ranch from her tribe's territory. When he asked what troubled her, she finally spoke the truth she had been carrying like a hidden wound. Her tribe was preparing to push deeper into ranch land. They believed settlers were overstepping boundaries, claiming too much territory too fast. Her arranged marriage had been part of the tribe's plan, a political move meant to unify their warriors before conflict. Her choice to leave had disrupted that plan. embarrassing the council and weakening their strategy. She knew her people would come, not to bring her home, but to make a lesson of her defiance. Cade felt a cold weight settle in his chest. Elena's presence had not just brought whispers, it had brought danger. But she looked at him with a steady, unwavering gaze and said, "I didn't choose you to start a war. I chose you because I won't live under fear anymore." Her words forced Cade to choose as well between doubting her like the others or standing beside her as the storm gathered. And as the ranch grew tenser by the day, it became clear that Elena's next move might decide the fate of everyone on that land. The day the scouts appeared on the South Ridge, the quiet tension gripping the Mercer Ranch snapped like a rope pulled too tight. 3 riders emerged from the canyon shadows, faces painted, boughs slung across their backs, their horses moving in perfect formation. Cade's ranch hands scrambled for rifles, hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and fury. But before anyone could raise a weapon, Elena stepped forward with a command so sharp it froze the air. "No one fires. No one approaches. Let me go alone." Her voice held authority none of them had heard from her before, a tone carved from years of survival and lineage she had never revealed. The men argued instantly, Cade loudest among them. He grabbed her arm, refusing to let her walk into danger without protection. But Elena's eyes had the same steady fire they held the day she chose to leave her tribe. She understood this moment in a way none of them could. Bloodshed here would ignite a war, and the scouts weren't just warriors, they were messengers, watching to see how far she had fallen from the laws of her people. Cade finally stepped back, though fear tightened every breath he took. Elena walked toward the ridge with her hands visible, her steps slow and deliberate. The scouts descended like shadows sliding down rock. Their expressions were carved with betrayal, disappointment, and anger darker than the canyon behind them. When they spoke, their words cut deeper than blades. "You left us. You chose the settler. You spit on your lineage." Their accusations echoed across the open land. But Elena didn't shrink. She stood tall, the wind tugging at her. Hair as she revealed the truth none of them expected, that she carried the bloodline of a former chief, her late mother. It was a secret she had protected her entire life, fearing the weight of leadership forced upon her. But now, that same bloodline gave her the ancient right to demand a mediation. Council. A last resort meeting meant to prevent war. The scouts hesitated, stunned. It had been years since anyone invoked that right. Some believed it forgotten. Others believed Elena was unworthy to speak it. But tradition bound them. Finally, their weapons lowered. The ranch hands saw only that gesture. They didn't hear the terms Elena had offered, terms that put her life at risk. She would return to the tribe alone, to face the council that felt betrayed by her. Her return meant she might not walk out again, but it was the only path that could save Cade and everyone on the ranch. When she walked back, Cade reached her first. His fear was written plain across his face, but Elena simply laid her hand against his chest and whispered, "If I don't go back, they'll come for all of you." She had chosen him once out of love. Now she was choosing danger out of courage. And as the scouts turned away, Cade realized the woman he thought he was protecting was about to walk straight into the heart of a storm she alone knew how to face.